Hi everybody, welcome back to another creative aging video. This one is going to be the last video in our Loom Knit series. If you have been watching along, you'll know that we have done the first and second videos for the Loom Knit series combined in the middle of February because we had a couple of snow days. And then I was ill and out, and then we had more snow days, which means that we haven't gotten to finish this video. So I would like to make sure that everybody knows how to get their hats off of the loom before we move on to anything more complicated. For those of you who are observant, you'll notice that I have both a different loom and a different hat than when I started. But we are moving here at the Rawlings Library, and so quite a bit of my stuff is in storage. So we are doing what we're doing with what we've got. It's the exact same concept, but this loom is actually wide enough to be making an adult hat. The loom that I had before was a hat for a child. And then this is the same type of yarn as I was using before, that chunky yarn, but this is just a different colorway. So really it's pretty much exactly the same. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you recall, we had made the brim of the hat before, and that would be this part right here. That is done and finished on this hat. And then I said to go ahead and continue to knit all the way up. I'm going to try to get a good angle here. 20, I believe I said 25. I may have said 30. Either one would work. 25 rows all the way up to the top of the peg here. And I'm at row 25. Oh, sorry, I'm at row 24. So just to do a little bit of a refresher here, while I have you as my captive audience, we'll go ahead and remember that we are E-wrapping each one of these pegs. So that means that I'm going behind and around, and you can see my hand doing this here. I think it looks pretty good. And I'm going to do this very last row just as a refresher for all of you guys to remember how we're doing this. Around and around and around. It almost makes me a little bit dizzy, not gonna lie, particularly when I'm trying to do it quickly. So we're going to continue going around and around like that until all pegs on this particular loom are used up. This loom has 36 pegs. They're a little bit further spaced. This is the adult loom, like I said. I found out recently that the looms do come in different sizes. This one is for the bigger yarn, which I think is easier to use with your fingers. So we'll just go around and around and around and around, and there we are. And then hold it in place there. I've also missed my stitch marker, but because I know this is the last row, it's not like a huge deal to not have it. It was very helpful to have it while I was counting. It's enough like knitting, the regular knitting, that I'm able to count my stitches easily because I know what they look like from being a regular knitter. But if that's not something that you do regularly, I can understand why you would definitely want to have a row counter or a little tally sheet. You don't need to go out and buy one. A tally sheet works just as well. Off to the side, just that you can keep count and not have to get frustrated and wonder, hey, how many rows did I actually do? Just get a tally sheet or a row counter. They do sell them at the big box craft stores, but again, I want to go ahead and plug my friend Melissa from Sassy Fiber Tools, who makes them and sells them at Artisan Textiles here in Pueblo, Colorado. They're on Broadway, right across the street here from the Rawlings Library. So if you are a Pueblo native, go over and check out that store and check out Melissa's little section of it. You will not regret it, particularly if you're into any type of fiber. All right, we're getting really close to the end of this last row here. If you're like me and you are used to knitting to a place where then you're going to reduce stitches, this hat's going to look really long and strange. That's okay. Our heads are longer and bigger than we think they are. So even if it feels like it's a little bit strangely tube-shaped, it will still work just fine for what we're trying to do here. Alrighty, got that last in. Oh, look, I missed one. That would have been a sad state of affairs. There we go. Okay, push it all down, and then we're going to start the process of getting this off the needles. So we're going to go ahead and push everybody down so that they're down there on the bottom. And in this particular point, why we're doing that is that we're going to slide our big yarn needle up and through that groove there on the pegs rather than the hook this time around. I am being clumsy. All right, here we go. It's ready to go. So your working yarn here, it's going to be there in the middle of it. We're going to cut off 24 inches. So if you guys remember my handy dandy cutting board as I'm measuring it here, that's 12. And then that's 24. So I'll cut that off right there. And I've got myself a yarn needle. This yarn needle came with the kit. It's not got what you might call a big hole, so we're gonna hope that I can get it through and in here. We're gonna see. I feel unconfident, but I did manage it. There we go. All right, so starting just like we would start a row, we're going to just go, this needs to be in the back, by the way, that little tube there, and lift it off the needle and pull it through. Keep your yarn behind you. Lift off and then pull through. Let me make sure I have a really nice view of that for you guys. Okay, all right. I'm going to go through and lift off and then pull the rest of the yarn through. And we're going to go around and do that with all of these, all 36 of them. And it will get less tangly as we go. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Hopefully you'll be able to see as I go. I made a knot. Here we go. Pull that knot out. So it's going to make it really difficult. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, let's just go from behind. That's going to be way quicker. And you're going to come up with the same exact situation. If you get one of these looms on Amazon, like I did, this one I got on Amazon, I should mention. It will come with instructions on how to do a simple hat, but these videos will be able to hopefully fill in any of the questions that you might have and also show you what not to do as you are in the process of making your own hat. We're just going to keep going, getting them off. And it's going to look a little bit funky because when we were knitting this on the loom, everything was really stretched and taut. And it's going to shrink up considerably when you take it off. That's okay because the loom is far wider than a normal human's head. Unless you're my husband, he's got a really big head. And you want to be able to fit it to your own personal noggin. So here we go, taking everything off. If you're talented, you could add a pom-pom to the top of this at one point. I have never been great at making pom-poms. Even using a pom-pom maker, which yes they have and yes are handy. Mine still sort of look like scraggly little pom-pom chick birds. They're pretty ugly. I think I get a little obsessed with getting them perfect to the point where I will never get them perfect, and then they just are these tiny little scraggly balls of fluff that nobody's excited about. Alright, we're getting really close to the end here. And just keep doing that. I think backwards better than frontwards, honestly, as we go through this. It'll be a little bit easier for you to see what you're doing and not get frustrated with the knots. Everything's gonna get hidden up at the end anyhow. And then we'll just go in this last one. I don't know why he's over there. Okay. I think he just got missed somehow. So what we're gonna do is pull everything together nice and tight. I'm gonna move the loom out of the way, and you can see here how we're pulling it all together nice and tight. Here's the top of the hat. So how are we gonna hide our string here? What we're actually gonna do is turn the hat inside out. So poke this guy through your hole, turn your hat around inside out around your finger in your hand, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull it together really super duper tight. It's gonna look puckery up like that, and that's why we're gonna make this so much taller than you might think for a normal head, is because, well, we're losing some mileage by puckering it up super tight. So I'm just gonna stab it through this loop here. Whatever big loop that is the top loop that you like, do that. And then stick your needle through and around your big working yarn to make a big old knot and tie it tight. Do that a couple more times, because getting this unraveled would really make me pretty sad. I don't know about you. Doing all that work and it being unraveled. So probably one more. You can even double knot it by sticking it through another guy. Okay. That's nice and tight like that. So you can snip off your end here. You could leave it long enough if you want to weave that end in, by which I mean you can re-thread your needle and pull your end through a few more times just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. That is, if you can get your needle threaded. I can't, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, turn it back out. I'll lay it out here on the ground, and there you go. There's your hat. Should fit nicely on an adult size head. Please make some. If you do make a bunch and you love making them and you don't know what to do with all the ones that you have made, you can go ahead and donate them over here at the library. I'm taking them through the end of March, and I will go ahead and donate them to our local rescue mission here. This is part of the Winter of Readings Maker Challenge, so if you'd like to participate, I'd love to have you. All right, guys, that's how you finish up your basic loom knit hat. I have one more in the loom knit series where we're gonna look at some different stitches and try to make ourselves a cup cozy. So I hope you guys come and tune into that. And until I get to see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay making. Have a great evening. Bye.